Let's get more reactions following the developments at the Senate. We have Kiko Aquino-Dee, the grandson of the late Senator Ninoy Aquino and co-convenor of pro-democracy coalition Tindig Pilipinas. I believe he is part of that group that thumbed down the decision to archive within the Senate floor. Magandang umaga sa iyo, Kiko.
Hi, magandang umaga, Gretchen. Good morning sa lahat ng mga nanonood at nakikinig po ngayon.
Okay, unang-una, kamusta? No? Ano nga ba nangyari doon? Nakita na lang namin sa screen yung pinapalabas kayo. But what happened?
Well, I mean, pinapalabas pero in a happy accident, layunin naman talaga naming mag-walk out eh. So at least nag-coincide po yung ginawa ng Senate Sergeant at Arms sa balak naman natin. Ayun po, I think we had been there since the start of the hearing ng mga 3 o'clock po, and I think that happened, 8? I forget, medyo magulo na sense of time ko po. Pero ayun po, I remember distinctly po there was a point during the session na si Senator Vic Zubiri requested clarification kay presiding officer Senate President Chis Escudero na ano ba yung pwedeng gawin ng nasa gallery, at yung malinaw na sinabi ni Senate President Escudero ay bawal tumawa, bawal mag-comment, bawal magpumalakpak, no? So bawal mag-ingay. And yung grupo namin, aware naman na, while hopeful, aware naman na pinaikot nga yung bilangan na 20-4, naging 19-4-1. So, a little better than we were told. Pero yung grupo namin na aware na yun, we felt that we would have wanted within the rules, within the allowable rules, to show our displeasure with the impending decision. So, we chose the thumb down gesture po and then walked out, and yun po, that's what happened.
What were your observations there from the gallery with the string of debates and the temperament? Because it was a motion to dismiss that became a motion to table, that became a motion to archive. What was the temperature like over there? At syempre may mga nakikita kayo, yung mga interaction ng mga senador with each other, mga reactions nila. What did you notice?
The thing that immediately comes to mind is I believe si Senators Bongo, Robin Padilla and Bato de la Rosa were seated together, and then I think jokingly naman si Senator Marcoleta told them, yes tayo dito, yes tayo dito. So I think that was a funny moment naman po. Pero yun po, I think honestly I don't have a point of comparison po. Ito po yung first and probably the last time na manonood na magiging part po ako na even in an audience capacity to a Senate plenary hearing. I thought that I personally felt I learned a lot, no. So ako I try to be someone who's easily convinced, no. So parang when good arguments are put before me, I like to think na it can sway my opinion, no. And so yun, parang I was impressed with si Senator Marcoleta, the ease with which he explained his position. I appreciated si Senator Pia Cayetano with the way na parang kumpanya niya, how she explained from a lawyer's perspective, ito yung ganito tinatrate yung Supreme Court decision. And even though I disagreed with a lot of the points, I appreciated the forcefulness of Senate President Escudero's explanation of his vote. I remember when that was on our side during the time of the struggle against President Arroyo. So I appreciated all of that, but also I would have wanted to hear just an emphasis po on why are we talking about what we're talking about, no? And yung impeachment, the reason na na-initiate ito in the first place was nagbaba ng grave threats si VP Sara Duterte, at saka nagbaba siya ng grave threats, and also there's an issue of corruption involving DepEd in the middle of an education crisis. So yung urgency lang ng issue na yun was something I found lacking, and also yung the suggestion that kaming mga mamamayan, kaming mga citizens na nag-file, na we followed everything, no. Yung mga pinunto ni Senator Marcoleta involved shortcomings on the part of the House of Representatives. We can identify the failure of the Senate to follow through on the forthwith term in our Constitution, and even in the Supreme Court may mga factual errors na pinoint out dun sa decision nila. Pero parang bakit yung mamamayan yung pinaka binivilify dito, na sa pagkakaalam ko wala pa namang pinunto na maling ginawa Yung wala kaming maling ginawa sa mga impeachment complainant as far as the process is concerned. No? And yet, parang for whatever reason, we're the ones being denied due process. So, yun po.
Actually, ilang beses nga sinabi ng mga senador, no, that they have been vilified online in preposterous ways. Parang sinasabi naman nila they have been following due process or respecting the rule of law. But what is up next for Tindig Pilipinas now that with the decision to archive? Is this, as quite of a sign of hope for you guys? At least hindi pa siya talagang tinuluyang pinatay? Or do you see this as, more or less the same as already
Well, I
dead?
don't know po, parang as Christians, we're supposed to believe in the resurrection. No? Pero I don't know po, yung archived it was a strange term nung ginamit sa House of Representatives and kung ano-anong interpretation yung ginamit. Parang at that point, it was effectively dismissed. Ewan ko kung yun din yung maging interpretasyon ng Supreme Court sa pag-archive ng Senado kung sakali mang kailangan po siyang bigyan ng interpretation. So yun, pag-aaralan po natin. The 97-page decision of the Supreme Court. I think si Senator Alan Cayetano pointed out, gave a decent summary po of like the new rules surrounding impeachment. But contrary to his position, I think not all of these rules are innocent. No, I think na big problem po yung rule na you can only file an impeachment over things that the impeachable official did while in office. Kasi nga, one of the classic questions on impeachment is, what if the president, our sitting president, is revealed to have had sort of done, parang espionage or some kind of treasonous activity prior to becoming president? Does that mean we cannot impeach the sitting president? So parang that's a strange principle to incorporate. So, yun po, I think we need to study the rules. We need to really figure out what we take this archiving to mean.
Correct.
But like right now, nasa Boy Scout circle po tayo for another protest activities. But yun, in the coming weeks, we'll be studying. And I think everyone, even the Senate, was saying that Feb 6 date mentioned by the Supreme Court is fresh in everyone's mind. Definitely, we're cognizant of that as well. But we want to understand and really game out how the new rules of impeachment will come to play if we make that decision nga po to file again later on.
Unahan nyo na sa Feb 6. Lahat ng magpa-file.
Baka mag-camp out kami. Parang movie ticket. Parang titilahan natin yung movie tickets, diba? We might set up
para siguradong credible yung impeachment complaint come February 6. But you're right, no? The larger context here is that this may set a precedent to future filing of impeachment complaints. And how do you hold now our public officials accountable if it will be that complicated to go through the impeachment process itself? Bilang huling tanong, you are a convener. I'd just like to go to another topic. We had Senator Trillanes on several of our programs here, somehow indicating a little bit of tampuhan or rift with Vice President Leni Robredo when it comes to, I guess, 2028 and also the ICC, their stance on the ICC and all. Sinagot na yan ni Barry Gutierrez. Pero kayo, what are you doing to somehow come up with a united opposition for 2028?
Ako, so both Senator Trillanes and Mayor Leni Robredo are people I hold in very high esteem. So I haven't spoken to either of them po about I haven't spoken to Senator Trillanes about his comments, nor have I really heard anything from the camp of VP Leni Robredo. And to be honest po, yung Tindig, I guess we're in a way a bit of a clearinghouse. No? Parang there are certain elements of the opposition that are part of our coalition and they can talk here, but we're just a small part of the equation po. I think in the end that as far as 2028 is concerned, I understand na sina Mayor Leni Robredo really wants to focus on her next 3 years as mayor of Naga City. And if the time for discussion for 2028 will come, when that time comes, we will be very happy to participate, be very happy to facilitate any such discussions. But yun nga, I think it's also worth recognizing that as a civil society organization, since we're not the ones sort of putting ourselves out there for public office, hindi rin, parang limited lang din po yung role natin. No? So parang we are, parang we're here to facilitate, we're here to make our views heard, we're here to make stands heard, but this is really something for Vice President Lenny Robredo and the other personalities of the opposition to work on.
Make your voice heard. You certainly did yesterday with a thumbs down over the decision of the Senate.
Not voice, bawal bawal
Hindi
nga
pala,
magsalita.
bawal pala boses. Oo, oo. Ano ba? Make your actions felt. Okay, maraming salamat sa iyo for joining us this morning right after that 6-hour debate on the Senate plenary floor. We have Kiko Aquino-Dee, co-convenor of Tindig Pilipinas.